You're just so beautiful, beautiful. So take that seed from in your soul and plant it here and let it grow and show the world what beautiful can be. You're just so beautiful, beautiful. So take that seed from in your soul and plant it here and let it grow and show the world what beautiful can be.
Yeah, I think I got it. I got it.
Are we on?
Are we on now? Oh, we're live? Okay. Well, that's okay. I do apologize because we were having some glitches here with regards to some of the broadcasting, so we're not sure if you guys have been able to see us live or not. So we were trying to work on some of those things while we were taking our breaks. So, when you got a live show, like, Cece going solo, life after divorce, we just have to roll with the punches. And we've certainly learned that going through, the devastation of relationship loss, moving through to living our best lives. We know that that's what we have to do. So we are doing it.
That's a nice segue. I like that.
Yeah, we are doing it tonight. We are just rolling with the punches, And the thing is one thing about, writing and all of that I've determined, and even about this relationship building, it's, life is just a journey. It's just, like I wrote on your Facebook page, it's just a turning of the page. Our stories are not written, and we just flow, and that's what we really need to think about. So even when we're out there dating, trying to figure it out, don't get so bogged up in trying to figure it out, but to live in the moment. Because a lot of times I think as we're meeting people that come through our lives and they're passing through our lives, not everyone we're going to have this huge committed type of relationship with, but we are going to learn something from each person that does flow through our lives. And I think that's something we need to understand, that we need to really appreciate and live in the moment. Often we'll go on a date, and by 3 dates, we shut the door on them, and really the guy could have been an absolutely wonderful, or she could have been a wonderful individual to have as a friend. So, if we handle our lives in a very mature, respectful way, I think that when we're going through this dating session into relationships, we are going to have a relationship. And the thing is, you have to redefine your relationships and determine what those relationships are. So, for instance, you can date someone, go out on a date, and then decide, he or she doesn't really rock my boat, but they're great, fantastic individuals, and you could become very good friends, and you could still have a relationship with them, but a different type of relationship. So learning your language of love and learning better things about yourself, learning whether you're an isolator or a bonder, those things will also help you in just any kind of relationship building. And so they're just tools for you to be able to use. So I just want to welcome again Colin Flood to the studio here this evening.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. And anyone that wants to call in, they can call in on 727-597-4022. But let's get on with this, because we only have very few minutes left. And I think this topic about the bonders and isolators are very, very important. So let's talk a little bit more about that.
Okay.
So I put you in the hot seat. I like that. A man in the hot seat. No, well, you were talking, and the reason I can kind of understand this is because I know that I'm a bonder, I think, because I want to share with the audience. I want to share with everyone. I want everyone to be able to learn and grow, and I'm a very nurturing person. I mean, that's really who I am and what I'm about. And I didn't really understand that so much. I just thought I was a mom, a wife and a mom.
Yes, but how do you react to a stressful situation, which is kind of what Harville Hendricks is talking about? If something happens, like let's say you're on a radio show and you lose your audio feed, do you get upset? Do you want to like pull away? Do you want to back away? Not necessarily from the studio, but from the person in your relationship. Or if you're in a relationship, Cece, are you going to like call them up and immediately share with that person what happened? because that's what's important to you. Are you a bonder? You want to bond with him when you're facing trauma and stress and irritation in your life, or do you want to pull back and just have some quiet time alone and kind of recover from those incidents?
Wow, that's a hard question because I have seen that.
So you're not so obviously a bonder after all.
No, yeah, because I have seen that when I really get upset, I do pull back.
You need some time to cool off.
Because I don't want to overreact, to something. And I know I had a girlfriend that used to say all the time, "Well, just go in there and just tell him," And then I think, wow, I do that, and maybe I didn't look at everything completely. So I do tend, but I also know that I have run away from very good relationships out of fear, and this, of course, is since my relationship lost. But I know that I've had some good men in my life that I've been afraid, and I have
That what, it might be too real or too important?
well just I think afraid that it won't last. It won't,
That you'll be invested in and it'll all come to naught.
Absolutely. Because, I've been in long-term relationships for many years. I mean, my first marriage was 10 years, then 5 years, then 17 years. I mean, I've been in relationships all my life. I've vested in those relationships and have been very disappointed. I mean, very hurt, very disappointed, very in the trenches with the pain of that. And I know that, and I'm sharing this because I'm hoping that other people out, that are listening might be able to relate to it too. That, that when I came to the point that, there was someone in my life that was important to me, I got scared. I got actually very scared. And I know that I get a little bit like that now but I know that I have to really open my heart, to be able to accept that. And so that is part of the healing process, I think, that we have to go. We have to go down that journey, and as we're going through dating. And I don't really feel that you can be completely healed from things that have happened in our past. And I don't know if we really want to, because I think we do want to take a bit of that into the next relationship, just a bit. I mean, not saying a lot, but just a bit, so that we can have an appreciation for the next person. Because if we've been touched by sadness and hurt and pain, the next person that comes into our life can be a breath of fresh air. And we need to have gratitude for that. And I think a lot of times when we go into a relationship with someone, we don't have that gratitude. We're expecting, the bomb to drop, things to happen.
Yeah.
But for you, I know I've seen you with your partner, and it's like seeing a breath of fresh air. It's like seeing that joy and the happiness, and that you've opened yourself up to that.
Oh, that's nice.
So
now maybe she'll listen to the show.
So is she not listening? Because she is a friend of mine.
I think she's at a meetup.
She's in big trouble now.
I think she went to hear a lecture.
But that's okay, because we are on a podcast, and she can listen to it anytime she wants. But you see that. I've seen that in other relationships with people, individuals, and I've seen them, fall in love and become, into a relationship. And I know that some of them, because I know them personally, and I know that they have that gratitude. They have that, do you know what that I'm talking about with regards to it?
I think a friend of mine called it the Ted effect. You get into a relationship, and whatever you do that Ted didn't do, you're so wonderful because you don't do this because Ted did that. It's a little bit like the movie Pay It Forward. I think sometimes we have to pay for the person that went before us.
Right. But it's not just that. I mean, because when I go back and I reflect upon myself, and when I listen to other people and when they talk and everything, but it's also it's the loss that they've suffered, because it's not necessarily that someone is different or they're doing something different or whatever. It's that they appreciate that that they've lost something, and so they're going to hang on tight a little bit to be able to carry themselves forward, into the next relationship, because they know that they appreciate and they know it. So
well, I mean, We all go through these experiences in relationship, and hopefully with some sort of mental balance, we can bring both the good and the bad, well, mostly the good, into the next relationship. And we can look at it and say, well, this was bad. I'm over with that. I'm done with that. But this was good, and take some of that good into the next relationship.
Absolutely.
And grow because of the experience.
And to heal ourselves, really, for us to be able to understand us. And I think that's what we're trying to do tonight, is for you to understand your love language, for you to understand your Mars and Venus, your, all of the, whether you're an isolator or a bonder. The more you can understand yourself, it's not baggage that you're bringing into the next relationship. It's really the genuine self that you're bringing in. And I think that's really a very, very important thing.
Well, as a writer, I think that these are 3 books that every relationship needs.
Right.
Mars, Men are from Mars, Women are from Venus. Getting the love that, is it you need or want? Getting the love you want. I always say the love you need. And I guess there's a very big difference between the two. And then the 5 love languages.
Right.
For somebody going through a very traumatic period, there's also a book called Crazy Time that I found that was wonderful when I first took my divorce, went through my divorce. And Crazy Time takes you through the stages of grief. And I kind of read each chapter as I went through each stage. And sure enough, when I was done kind of with that stage, I'd pick up the book again and read the next chapter. And so it took me months to read, the entire book. But I thought Crazy Time was a very good book. And
very good.
And one of the things that was interesting in there is that you go through an experience. Let's say it's a divorce, and 3 to 6 months later, guess what? Your family and friends, they're totally recovered. Right? It's all over for them. They're ready to move on. Gee, Cece got divorced. That's it. 3 to 6 months later, they've recovered. But guess what? You probably haven't.
Oh,
and it takes you a long time. And that's in the book. It was kind of like, oh, by the way, when your family and friends have recovered from your divorce in 3 to 6 months, you could still be recovering, and you probably still will be recovering.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, everyone's different. It's a journey that we go on, definitely. And like I said, our story is not written. And it's just the pages that we're turning, and we just have to live within those pages and enjoy life as best we can. And that's what this show is all about. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Number one, where can we find you? This Inspiring Writers group. And
I'm the organizer for Aspiring Writers at meetup.com. I'm on Facebook under A. Colin Flood. I also have an author page, A. Colin Flood Author. I wanted to have my collection of romantic short stories, the Red Shoes and Other Tales, which are going to be about relationship stories, about 24 of them. I wanted to have that up and running on Amazon by now, but between school and moving and everything like that, I didn't get it done.
Well, I know you sent me a little brief information about that, and I tell you, that is absolutely great, and it's definitely going to be one of my reads. I'm definitely going to get that book. So when you have that up, please let me know, and we'll post it on Going Solo so everyone can get it. Actually, Going Solo is going to have their own site coming up. So I've been working on that, and the thing is about our lives, we have to step out of the box a little bit, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to design my own website, which is really kind of cool. And so there's going to be a lot of little bleeps and things like that, but that's part of me, and we're going to put that up, and it's going to have all the past guests on it. It's going to have a lot of blogs on it. It's going to have a lot of different things on it. So that's going to be coming up, and I'm hoping to get it done next week for you all. So that is called, it's going to be called Cece Going Solo.
That's a good name.
Yeah, so I figured I'd put that in because Going Solo is really, a generic type of term, but Cece is only one of me, thank God. So so we'll go from there. Now, anything else you wanted to share with us tonight? Because our evening is
No, this was
away.
A lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it.
Well, great. I'm so glad that you came on. You are just an inspiration for people out there. There's so many individuals that want to be able to write, and they're a little bit fearful of doing that. You actually put the joy into expressing ourselves on paper. So I think you are the master of the pages for sure.
Oh, that's so wonderful to hear. I've been called a lot of things, but never inspirational before. So that's very nice. I'm glad you know this.
We're on air live, so I've got to be nice. But no, I'm kidding. But it's just a joy to have you, and I thank you so much because we've had many deep conversations about different things, and your depth of knowledge is just tremendous. And the thing is you're broad. You're so broad, and you're willing to be able to look at other views and other things, like many of our listeners out in Going Solo. they want to tune in, they want to listen because they want to hear, things that they can benefit themselves. And so they listen with an open mind and open heart. And for that, I love each and every one of you out there listening. So, well, we're going to have to bring it to a close, but you know how you can reach me, Cece, with Going Solo every Wednesday at 7 p.m. right here on liveandloveradio.com. We also started up a liveandloveradio.com Facebook, so I would like for you to just come in and like it if you would, and we'll be posting there, and I'm going to get some of the other hosts of the station to post on some of their things, and so I think that'll be kind of exciting for us to share.
Live and love, not live and let love.
No, we're just going to live and love, man. We're just going to go all the way with it. And then, of course, you can meet me on, the My Friends Connect, which is the My Friends Connect divorce social group.
Right. That's how I met you originally. I think.
Right. Yeah. A lot of people have passed through that group, so it's a fantastic group. And then also I have the transition into dating and relationships, because as we go from the divorce and relationship loss, we want to start dating again, and that's a whole nother thing that we have to experience and go through. And then I have the 40-plus singles group, which is called My Friends Connect, Relationship Wanted. And they're very unique individuals because they listen to this show. They, they write articles. They do different things to be able to benefit and help themselves to be able to grow as individuals. So they're very special, unique individuals, and that I'm very proud of those people that have become my friends. And that's what My Friends Connect is all about, is just making a whole lot of friends and being able to get along together.
You're everywhere, man.
I am very busy, but hey, I stay young that way. Absolutely stay young. So anyhow, this is Cece with Going Solo, Life After Divorce. And yes, there is life after divorce. I cannot wait to see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. So make sure you listen to our podcasts, which are on the station, which is liveandloveradio.com, and also on YouTube, which is Cece Going Solo. So have a great night, and I'll see you next Wednesday.